Let's hit it. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. Week 13 of the NFL is complete, and tonight we have the Packers versus the Lions to kick off Week 14. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Yeah, man, this is a huge game, and it's probably one of the better games when you look at it on paper. Now, some of the games they had, they weren't really good on paper, but they actually ended up being a good game on Thursday night. But this one is supposed to be a great game, so hopefully it will be.
Oh, hey, the Packers got to go to the Motor City. They playing in that dome, so they don't have the cold and snow as an advantage, but we shall see. This week on Shout Out, we have performances from Setoria plus Sanavi. Will they find their shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Chicago Bears are flying far, far, far away from one of their worst coaches who orchestrated the worst failure perhaps in NFL history. It was so bad, the Bears, for the first time in their 100-plus year history, fired a head coach during the season. It was so bad, their rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, was shaking his head trying to give an answer for this atrocity. The sheer ineptitude displayed by the Bears head coach was literally beyond belief. Is this the wake-up call the Bears organization needs so they don't waste another highly drafted quarterback? And as Jim McMahon has said, the Bears where quarterbacks go to die. Should the Bears get an offensive-minded head coach, no matter how tasty the defensive-minded candidates look? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, rest in peace, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Spitface, Matt Eberflus deserved to be fired because he was a bad coach that had several mind-boggling decisions. However, that decision not to call a timeout when the clock was running down to end the game was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's why his behind is fired. This man had a chance to tie or win the game, and you allow the clock to run out when you had a timeout in your pocket? He is completely clueless of situational football. Yes, you need a timeout to set up a field goal, but if there's no time left on the clock, what's the point? This was such a laughable yet sad blunder by a head coach in the NFL. Spitface, I don't even think a pee-wee coach with little children would make that mistake. I mean, really? If you don't have any time left on the clock, what can you do? The game is over. That should have been the most pertinent thing he needed to do was stop the clock. And you know what, Spitface, furthermore, the players, they were not exempt from blame either because they were taking their good old time to get up to the line. I don't understand why Caleb didn't clock the ball. It just didn't make any mistake, and that's also coaching. Because that is also coaching when you have players not rushing to the line, a quarterback not clocking the football. That's because you should have discussed that when you use your second timeout. All of those scenarios should have been discussed, what you need to do, or even from previous coaching examples during practice. That's something you practice, so that's why it falls so heavily on the coach's responsibility, so heavily. But yes, quarterbacks are where they die at Chicago. I mean, Mitch Trubisky was drafted number 2 in 2017. If you remember, the Bears moved up on the draft to get him, and they gave up a lot for Mitch Trubisky. They gave up their number 3 pick of their number 3 pick in the first round. They gave up their 3rd round pick, which was number 67. They gave up their 4th round pick, which was number 111. And that was all in 2017, and they gave up a 2018 3rd round pick. And guess who was in that draft with Mitch Trubisky? Patrick Mahomes was drafted number 10. Deshaun Watson was drafted number 12. And Christian McCaffrey was drafted number 8. Jamal Adams was drafted number 6. Aren't those some great players I'm just naming who was drafted in the same year as Mitch Trubisky? My goodness. Now, when they drafted Justin Fields, who was drafted in 2021, I mean, there really wasn't a top quarterback after Fields other than, Mac Jones, and we know what happened to Mac Jones. But guess what? Micah Parsons was available. Najee Harris was available. Travis Etienne was available. So I understand why Justin Fields was drafted. And Fields was a better selection at 11 than Trubisky was at 2 because Trubisky was just a complete bust. Fields still has some promise if in the right situation, which is probably where he is right now with the Steelers because, Russell Wilson really is a bridge quarterback. So eventually he will give over the football to Fields. But the Bears still have to right the wrong. They really got to do something regarding this situation because they don't want to waste another quarterback. And Caleb Williams, believe it or not, of all the 3 quarterbacks that they have drafted the last couple of years, Caleb is the real deal, and he can be a franchise quarterback. They just need the right person to groom him and who knows how to unleash his abilities. So what does that mean? Yes, they need to draft and hire an offensive-minded quarterback. I don't care who's available as a defensive candidate. I don't care that Bill Belichick is available. I don't think he would go there anyway. They need to find somebody, if it's in the college level. I don't know if it's in the currently in the NFL, any of the coordinators. Obviously they did put the current coordinator, as the temporary coach. And, I guess he has first crack at the job. However, they need somebody who is going to be a quarterback whisperer. They need to find that individual, and he needs to make sure that he puts Caleb Williams in the best possible offense to use his abilities, and that's going to be, that's what they need. Because I don't care if you got a particular offense and this is not the right quarterback. So therefore, you have a chance to find the right head coach to match your quarterback abilities. That's what you need. That's what you get. It has to be in sync. They have to be in sync. The style of the quarterback and the coach needs to be in sync. So, it is what it is. I just feel bad for the Chicago Bears fans. They have been inept for so many years. And, if you think about it, 100 years, they've never fired a coach in season. That's a long time. And you can to tell you the truth, they fired him. He deserved to be fired. And that just speaks volumes of how he was egregious as a coach. All right, Spitface, what you saying?
First Lady, as a Bears fan, the one thing that has been consistent with the Bears is bad coaching. And they had some bright spots. Okay, Lovie Smith got them to a Super Bowl. But what was Lovie? A defensive-minded coach. Mike Ditka won them a Super Bowl, but really it was Buddy Ryan and that Bears defense. Again, another defensive-minded coach. Now, I can't say Mike Dicker was an offense or a defensive-minded head coach. He just, I don't even know if he had a mind, but that's a different conversation. But what, when I look at Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields, and potentially Caleb Williams, they ended up on, how like if you're the top players in the draft, you go to bad teams. And that's the way it works. You go to bad, Trevor Lawrence, where's he at? With the Jaguars. You don't go to teams that are already winning, not typically. So you go to bad teams. And you may leave that bad team a better quarterback and go to a good team where now you're ready to play. The Bears have never shown that they've been good at grooming quarterbacks. They've just when I look at who is a Hall of Fame Bears quarterback, I kind of think they're all in the 30s and the 1910s, but nothing past 1955 as a Bears quarterback. I think I may be incorrect. Went to the Hall of Fame. Now, the temptation, and I'll say in the fans' minds, the temptation is for the Bears to go find get that defense. Well, the Bears have shown that even with a defensive-minded coach, they might do well, but that's usually the aberration. Lovie Smith is an aberration. He got them to a Super Bowl. But what? They didn't have no offense. The offensive decisions could not keep them in the game. Everything was like, y'all going to be the 85 Bears and stuff. No, that was not happening. So that was like the aberration that he got them there, and a testament to really how great a coach. But Lovie Smith fell victim of being, not only do quarterbacks go to die, coaches can go there to die too. So lucky Lovie got a few more opportunities after that. But the Bears need to do not bring in Mike Vrabel. I mean, he's a good head coach. The Bears they do not need a defensive-minded coach that's going to put in the right offensive coordinator. No. They need an offensive-minded head coach who could go find one of these young defensive coordinators and bring him in. But the offense, as you said, First Lady, is lining up with the head coach and the quarterback are in alignment for how they're generating this offense. It's not a offensive coordinator. It's the top dog. And that's what the Bears need. And I'm not sure what Eberflus was sniffing, but dude, 100+ years. Plus, not just 100 is enough, but 100+, and that plus means that it's really more like 125, and you were the one, and I wish you well. And since the Bears had to pay out your contract, I don't feel bad for you. Not really. It's part of, as I say, it's part of the game, and it's just business. That's all I'm saying, personally.
Well, like Chicago said, good riddance. And, I mean, they just got to do something better than what they've been doing. Yeah, they need to move on and just find the correct coach for this young man. And not to say that they're going to go to playoffs, but at least they'll have a better understanding of what is needed. Like you said, when you do things the same way over and over and over and it doesn't work, try something different. That's all I'm saying. All right, Spitface, over to you.
And there are plenty of OCs in the NFL that are ready to move up. They're plenty. They ain't got to go far.
That's right. You don't. All right. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon, listening to the bass go boom, explosion, overpowering, over the competition, I'm powering, wrecking shout when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced, competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to Trevor Lawrence by the Texans linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair. Well, looks like Trevor is out for the season, and given the way the Jaguars are playing, it's a mixed blessing. The league has given Al-Shaair a 3-game suspension, and he has lost his appeal. Is Al-Shaair being treated harshly, especially since he doesn't have a history of illegal hits? Is he being made the villain for a football culture in some circles that would simply say, he got jacked up? Leroy Satupage, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bill are asking, what you saying? I have maybe mixed blessings for the Jaguars, but I have mixed feelings about this situation. And it is just, the game is just so fast. And, what is the line between I'm trying to hit you hard and I'm trying to hurt you that someone can visually tell without being in the player's mind? And for me, that's a hard call because, I don't know what's in that player's mind. I can only look at the action. Now, and even with the action, some things without knowing the motivation, you still can't really assign it as like intentional or being a dirty play, and that's how it is. And you're putting in rules to protect the safety of the players. You're making big money investments, $100 million, and so it behooves you to work to get a balance in a game that's physically challenging, in the sense of people run into each other as a sport. Let's line up against each other and run into each other at full strength. Now, am I trying to hurt you, or am I trying to run into you at full strength? And that's tough. Now, so I will say that I do not think that the league was unfair at suspending him, because the responsibility is on everyone, and it's unfortunate that the hit and the situation, it is what it is. But in the overall big picture of the game, players got to work with it, and that will add a level of, let's say, safety. It increased the level. So now the 3 games, and there was a statement somewhat that like Al-Shaair had been doing this, like the league said, has continued. And I'm going, now wait just a minute. He hasn't been getting penalized for illegal hits and hits. What's this man's record that you saying that besmirching his reputation? And 3 games, that's awfully tough. And he did lose his appeal. But I think that they should have at least dropped it, knocked 1 game off of it. But First Lady, I was surprised the penalty didn't get reduced. Is there some hating going on?
Well, producers, I beg the difference. Aziz Al-Shaair doesn't have a history of illegal hit. I mean, yes, he does have a history of illegal hits. He's had several incidents, but he was never suspended nor ejected for those hits. However, when you see his previous fouls, they were just as egregious, but he was lucky. He was never ejected. This was the third time this season he has been punished by the league. He was fined $11,255 for a late hit out of bounds on Tony Pollard. He was fined for punching Bears running back Rashawn Johnson, and reports have said that the league has spoken to him. So with that being said, the suspension was appropriate because the league had already spoken to him. To be honest with you, it's the referees that did not do what they were supposed to do when he had those hits. They should have at least ejected him minimally from the games, but he never got ejected from the game. So, but the fact that the league has fined him several times and have spoken to him about it, you have to protect the quarterbacks when they go into a slide. And the egregious part of Al-Shaair's hit was he led with his forearm as to knock Trevor Lawrence in the head. So, I mean, he deliberately did that. I mean, come on now. When you look at that play, it was a cheap shot, dirty play. So he deserves to get the 3-game suspension. And there's been so much to talk about the quarterbacks taking advantage of the rule by waiting to the last second to slide. However, with the rules, it's up to the defensive player to be aware of their aggression towards the quarterback. If it's a rule, so you need to make sure you don't break that rule. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I mean, now, it's not funny, but the issue is, I mean, he's only going to be out for 3 games, suspended for 3 games, and Trevor Lawrence is out because of his hit. So he's got, I think that they put him on the IR list. I've tried to they said he's going to be out. Yeah, I think they put him on the IR list. So he really got whopped by Al-Shaair. So, no, I have a different take. I think it was appropriate, especially if the league has spoken with you prior to that particular hit. So that's how I feel about it, Spitface. That's all I got to say. It was well deserved.
So you say there's some hating going on?
Hating going on by who? The league? No, I'm not saying there's hating. They're trying to protect these quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-driven league. Quarterback-driven league. So they try and protect them.
All right. First Lady, you have the last word on that. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Setoria on Shout Out Part 1.
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Setoria.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. On the first part of Shout Out, we are featuring music from Setoria, out of Washington, D.C., from her hit album, Loved at Christmas Time. They say Setoria is a Washington, D.C. area-based artist with a soul-stirring sound that bridges R&B, soul, neo-soul, and contemporary jazz. Known for her captivating performances and acclaimed music, Setoria's work has earned her numerous awards and a devoted following. She continues to inspire her music, community work, and unwavering commitment to empowering others through her artistry. Let's hear the title track from her hit album, Loved at Christmas Time.
blow it. I like the way you hold me so. I close my eyes and hope you know that you are in my heart, and I never wanna let you go. Love that Christmas time. I wanna be loved by you. Wanna be mine. Yeah. Love for the holiday. All day and every day. Love that Christmas. Just give me your love and that set me free. It's wonderful, just you and me with Mariah on the radio. No need to ask me, 'cause I'm sure you give me all I need and more. Let's take our time and let's explore the one that I adore, the only gift I've been waiting for. Love that Christmas time. Loving on me, someone loving on me. Love for the holiday. Loving on me. Give me all of your love and that will set me free. Loving on me.
All right. Okay. That's Setoria. I kind of like the track. It's a little bit quick and short, but I thought the jazz part of the song was very nice, and her voice is very nice too. It's a mellow Christmas song, and it has, I see where it has the combination of the jazz with the neo soul mixed together. So I like that. I like that sound. Definitely like the sound. So I'm definitely going to shout it out. All right, Spitface, are you going to shout it out, or are you going to hit the mute?
Well, coming from a hip place, I have to say I agree. I'm shouting out "Love That Christmas Time." I do have one question about the lyric, about one aspect of the lyric. Now, she was talking about, watching Mariah on the TV. Don't be throwing other singers in your music.
Well, she want to shout out Mariah.
Yeah, I don't be Mariah got plenty props,
Yeah, maybe she tried to get Mariah's fans to listen to her music.
Oh, hey, whatever worked. But I'm shouting it out. I liked it.
All right, okay. If you like what you heard from Setoria, check her out on Old Grumpy Radio Network and Setoria.net. That's Setoria.net. On part 2 of Shout Out, we'll be featuring a performance from Sanavi. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for...
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
All right. Time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Is Jameis Winston a starting quarterback in the NFL? Should a team choose him as their starter in 2025? Defend. Jameis is so good and so bad, all during the same game. He has proven he is not a starter or a long-term replacement. First Lady, I like Jameis. He's been through some things, and he has good, and what he's shown is he really does have good spirit. This is a man who loves playing football, and it seems as though he's kind of found himself, and that's always a good thing. But Jameis has this knack for putting the ball in the other team's hands. And that is not a good thing when you're a quarterback. You can throw 4 TDs, but if you also throw 2 interceptions, your defense is getting stressed out because they got to defend wherever you done gave the other team the ball, and that can cost you games. And that's the thing. Interceptions can cost you games. And he can rack up massive yards. The boy can throw the ball. It's just that whatever it is, he's like Brett Favre. He really is. But, the thing is, Jameis doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. See, so you can play like Brett Favre if you got a Super Bowl ring. Jameis ain't got no Super Bowl ring. And if past is president, what it looks like is that he will continue with that pattern, which which keeps him from being a true starter. Because at some point it's like a death by 1,000 cuts. Those interceptions are gonna get you, and I want to say that he's not really a long-term replacement. Like, you don't want to have him for the whole season. But, he's just in an awkward kind of spot. But no, he's not your starter, and he's not a long-term replacement. No. First Lady, defend.
Jameis Winston, he's the best player for his team and the opponents. I mean, Winston is a turnover machine. His whole career, he has turned over the ball. Now, if he thinks the Lord can help him, God helps those who help themselves. Now, it's not a Bible verse, which many people think it is, but it's used universally. So, Winston got up there and talked about the Lord needs to help him to stop these pick sixes. Well, Jameson, you got to help yourself. And how you help yourself? Stop throwing interceptions. I mean, for him to say also in this press conference that this is not who he is, well, who in the hell does he think he's been his entire career? He made it seem like that was like the first time that he was throwing pick sixes and interceptions. No, Jameis. You've always been throwing interceptions. Now, I tried to look up how many pick sixes he's had. I couldn't find that statistic, but he's had over 106 interceptions, and in 2019, he threw 30 interceptions. He's had 58 fumbles in his career. That's a turnover machine. I mean, he actually literally set the record in that game for a quarterback who he had the most passing yards by a quarterback. What was it? 419? No, I forgot what it was. It was 491, I believe. And who threw for at least 2 pick sixes. He basically Kyle Oraton owned the record with 431 yards. So, but to be honest with you, Winston actually threw for over 700 yards if you include the pick sixes in there. So, I mean, he literally had an outstanding day when it comes to passing yards. But this is who Jameis Winston is. And teams cannot afford to have Jameis as their starting quarterback. But like you said, he's a great backup quarterback, but just not a starting quarterback.
All right, First Lady, we're going to flip it in the thin. Jameis is the next Geno Smith. He just needs a team that believes in him. You know, First Lady, Geno Smith was out there, lost and alone. But somehow somebody in Seahawks world said he still got something in the tank. They bring him in, and who is he under for some tutelage? Russell. He's in Mr. Wilson's neighborhood. And whatever he learned from that relationship with Russell and the Seahawks organization, he made him a better quarterback. And I think Jameis has been seasoned, and by I mean that when you have Sean Payton and Drew Brees to learn from, you pick up some things, and hopefully you pick up some things and you put them into practice. The turnovers, I will say this, Jameis, sometimes you need some divine intervention on your behalf. But see, that divine intervention might look like I need to spend some of my big money on one of those quarterback gurus during the off season so I can correct whatever it is that has me think that I can throw places when I need to throw the ball away. You know, so if a team, and I think there's some teams that would be really better off with Jameis, and even if they draft the next franchise quarterback, but what they might find is that here's a guy who's settled down with himself, and with some slight adjustments, you might be looking at your long-term solution. First Lady, please defend.
Well, there's no question that Jameis can throw the football. I mean, his arm strength is amazing. And, like you said, Spitface, he has to make some adjustments. He has to probably become like Geno. Like you said, Geno had the same problems when he was with the Jets, Giants, and Chargers. He was not a good quarterback, but he was lost. He was just out there struggling. To be honest with you, very surprised he ended up with a career because he was really like 2 steps out of the NFL. But he went to, like you said, Seattle, and he really learned under Russell Wilson. And in 2022, he was the comeback player of the year. And his time with Russell was very valuable. Matter of fact, it was so valuable that it propelled the Seattle Seahawks to get rid of Russell Wilson. That's how valuable being Geno was. So Jameis can learn from that situation. So the question is, where can Jameis go? I really think Jameis should stay right where he is with the Browns, because we already know Deshaun Watson, his career is, now you're talking about somebody who's 2 steps out of the league. Deshaun Watson is 2 steps out of the league. And now with his injury, I just don't see him making a comeback, because not only is it a physical issue with Deshaun Watson right now, it's also mental. And Jameis doesn't have a mental issue. He did have a lot of problems in school and when he first got into NFL. Like you said, he's married now. He's well-grounded. So he just needs to get his game on point with all these turnovers. Like you said, Spitface, yeah, maybe he does need to hire a guru. Or maybe he just needs to say, I don't need to throw that ball in that area where there's a whole bunch of people there to catch it. That's all he needs to do. He just always trying to make that big play. Sometimes you can't make the big play. But when I look at Jameis Winston, I see Jameis a lot better than some of these other quarterbacks in the league, like Gardner Minshew with the Raiders and Danny DeVito for the Giants, and even, you guess who? Aaron Rodgers. I think Jameis Winston is better than Aaron Rodgers right now.
The bad man is just bad.
Right this minute, Jameis Winston is better than Aaron Rodgers. So I really think Jameis just needs to somehow stop these turnovers. I don't know what he needs to do. He just needs to not try to force things. If it's not there, sometimes it's better just to take a sack. But we'll see. I still think there's hope for Jameis Winston. I mean, like I said, we didn't think there was hope for Geno Smith, and look what his career has turned around. So Jameis can definitely turn around his football career because he's already turned around his life.
All right, First Lady. And Jameis ain't going nowhere. He's in the league. Over to you, First Lady, for more Flip It.
We wonder the Lions look like they are sitting pretty, but they should have lost to a Bears team, having the injuries caught up to them. Should the fans start worrying? Spitface defense. There is a next man up, and then there is we running out of men. Detroit fans need to start worrying. Defense.
First Lady, how many more injuries can they sustain? I mean, is there anyone on their defense who's healthy? And, what do they have? 3 star players out. And in the Detroit Bears game, they were running players that I thought in a minute they were going to grab some people out the stands and just put, and say, what number, anybody who got a jersey in the stand, well, look, get on the line, And, but Detroit fans, you do need to start worrying because this is the wrong time of the year for injuries to happen. If there are to be injuries, you either want them early in the season or right in the middle so that your top players are coming back during the final push, to go into the playoffs. And right now they're having injuries at I hope that they don't get hit like those old Charger teams, where the Chargers, they were rambling and rolling, and they get toward the end of the season, and half the team was on IR, and and that would end up tanking everything. So, and with the style of football that Detroit plays, Detroit plays some bully ball. We're gonna run you over. Our defense is gonna smother you. We're going to hit hard, and I say that in a clean way. Like, we are not a finesse team, so I say it like that. Detroit ain't playing finesse. Detroit is playing we bigger, badder, and better. And unless you can move us, we gonna run you over. Well, you can do that when you got your best players out on the field. And right now the fans need to start worrying because as the final push comes, their best players might not be there. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
The Lions have 18 players on the injured reserve, and 13 of them are defensive players. Can you imagine? 13 defensive players. And they just lost on Thursday from the Turkey game. They just lost Malcolm Rodriguez and Mekhi Wingo, they all suffered season-ending injuries. So, yes, Detroit right now, they have the next man up mentality because that's literally it has to be the next man up. Matter of fact, they need to get men from the practice squad to come and play for them. That's how bad it is right now for them. So yes, but they're winning though. But I think as a Detroit fan, you need to worry because you don't want to be going down the home stretch and you're having to use players that have not really played the entire season. That's not really good. And, the defense is something that you really need going into, especially going in down the home stretch, and you don't have your defense set, and you don't know week to week who's going to be playing. I mean, that's a tough situation. So, they've been winning despite all these problems, but if I'm a Detroit fan, I'm worrying because it's based off of this team prior to all these injuries. They were, to me, a shoo-in to be in the Super Bowl. A shoo-in. Now, they might just be a wing and a prayer right now. So, because, they've been suffering the last couple of weeks. They've let teams score. So, the thing is, that offense is going to have to score more if the defense can't hold the opponents. So, that's worrying. That's very worrisome for fans, for Detroit fans. So, Spitface, I'd be very worried if I am a Detroit fan. I wouldn't be all that happy. All right, it's time to flip the script. Let's flip it. Spitface defend. They have a lot of injuries, and they have a lock on the division. Rest easy, Detroit. Don't worry. Be happy.
I know that my friends and family in Motor City are biting their nails. They taking that extra shot of whiskey. What are the lies? Oh no! But hey, yes. You have a lot of injuries, a lot of people on IR. And you have the group that will be coming off of IR close to the end of the season to help you in that push. And you got a smaller group, fortunately, that they're out for the season. Now, the one thing that I think that gives y'all some solace is that the Lions have proven over the last couple of years that they have built a team and an organization to handle this situation, and so they're prepared. Now, as prepared as you can be when you're having that many injuries, and that points to the type of ball that these guys play. It's demanding, tough, and challenging. And maybe that's all synonymous in this case, but that's how they play. And given that they will have players coming back, and that, look, they got a lock on the NFC North, which is going to give them a break in the sense, not that they don't have to play their best ball. They may not need their best players. And if they take one or two losses, it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. Because right now, if they go 500, they still probably end up with the number one seed. So, Detroit fans, get your team ready for the playoffs, because that's when the real action. You just want them folks ready to step in for the playoffs. That's all I've said per se.
Well, yeah, you're right, because it is true. They are going to have some players coming back, and they've been fortunate to win their. They're going to win their division. There are still some games left. The game tonight is a big game for them because if they don't. Actually, they still got some big games ahead of them, even though they are ahead in their division, but they still need to win. So now they'll have players coming back, but they also, before the trade deadline, they did sign Zadarius Smith from the Browns. They got him from the Browns. He's a great edge rusher. And now they just on December 1st, they signed Jamal Adams. Remember Jamal Adams used to play for the Jets? He was a great player. He's been kind of out of there for a couple of years, but he's still a great player that they can use. So, in addition to the other players coming back and the trade and the new signing, they're going to have to revamp their defense. And it is going to be the next man up. The team is going to have to dig very deep because, they can still do it with the current makeup of their teams. And the fans can feel assured that this team will rally together. I mean, basically, they've been doing that because, they've been on a roll. They haven't really, with all these injuries, they've still been able to move on and to play well. So this team is very well coached, and they're all in. They're all in, and they realize they root for the next person to get, to have that opportunity, to have a chance to prove themselves, and that's what they're relying on, and that's like the next man mentality has been very strong for this team, and I think the fans are going to be surprised that, they're going to continue to do well. And like they said, don't worry, be happy. They're going to be very, very pleased on how this defense has been playing, and it's been pieced together, literally pieced together. But they've been still playing strong. So Detroit Nation, don't worry, you'll be okay. Your team will move on, and by the end of the season, when the playoff begins, they won't have some of their players, but they'll have enough to pull them over to get to the Super Bowl. So they will have enough to do what they need to do. So, all right, Spitface, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we have a performance from Sanavi on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
Well. On the second part of shout-out, we are featuring music from Sanavi out of Los Angeles with her hit album, My Body. They say Sanavi is an emerging R&B artist known for her soulful vocals and emotive melodies. Her music blends contemporary and classic R&B elements, delivering heartfelt lyrics and smooth, sultry tones. Ooh-wee. Let's get some sultry tones. All right, let's hear My Body.
A lot of thoughts been running through my mind. You've been very patient all this time. I ain't about to draw no knife, no eye and hide. Not this time, you find you in my world. I feel no reservation with you in my world. You break down my walls, I let down my guards. You put me to sleep, and I thought it was a dream. Can't believe that my body on your body, your body all over my body, babe. My body on your body. I'm so glad you came. Not only how you move, but what you say. Got a ring every time I hear my name. You set the mood, yeah, your energy contagious. When you do what you do, that thing, I got no complaint. I like that pressure, please don't change a thing. I wouldn't have it no other way. How you work my back, baby, you don't play. Like keep my hands to myself. Your affection, you're my attention. On top of my body, so give me what you got. I wanna how, baby, you right on the spot. Body on your body, all over my body, babe. My body on your body. I'm so glad you care. Not only how you move, but what you say. Got a reading every time I emanate. You simple, yeah, you energy contagious when you do what you do. Bad thing, I got no complaints. Like a drug, so attached, might change my last name. You got my body.
My body, first lady. What's the verdict on my body?
I'm going to definitely shout it out. I really like the song. I was a little bit confused because I could have sworn I thought I was listening to Moni Love hours and hours.
Okay.
Moni Love may want to check out to see if that's her melody, but no. It was really good. I really enjoyed the song. She got a very, nice voice. She has that similar voice that a lot of the young R&B women singers have now. It's a style. Like I said, there's Moni Love. There's I forgot the other young lady, but they all sing similarly. So, but I'm going to definitely give the track a shout out. Shout it out, Sanavi. Sanavi, that's her name. I'm shouting her out. My body.
Oh. Now, I'm going to say at first, I was kind of going, when I was first listening to it for the first few seconds, I got threw back to R. Kelly. And I was like, no, don't go there, baby. We don't need no.
No, I don't think you need no R. Kelly.
I was pleased, no. But, no, really, seriously, nice track. I'd like to hear more from Sanavi. And so hopefully she'll, send us a couple of more of her tracks to play and to check out. So I'm giving it a shout out. That is the end of shout out. You can check out Sanavi at Reverb Nation, Sanavi Music, and that's SANAVI Music. And on the Old Grumpy Radio Network, if you'd like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. It is time for the picks. We are in week 14. And, all right, so yes, I had asked the production crew to get the results from the previous weeks, and I guess they did get me results. They just got 1 week, and I guess I need to be a little bit more definitive when I ask for results, because you know what, Spitface, now they want overtime to get these results out. They said they're behind. They just trying to get some overtime money for Christmas.
Weekend off.
So anyway, so we got the result. We're way behind. We got results up through, they gave me week 8 results. All right, that's the best they can do. All right, so for week 8 results, actually, week 8. Let me pull up those statistics. All right, I had them right here. All right, for week 8, we have I did quite well. I led with 190 million points. Spitface, looks like you finally got out some. You had been rolling in the red for the first couple of weeks, but now you got 60 million points. DizzieMac is at a negative 60 million points. So as of through week 8, and you can see we got a lot more weeks to go. Spitface, I'm at 408 million points. DizzieMac is 148 million points. And Spitface, you're at minus 72 million points. So, you got to come back. All right. So let's move on to our current picks. Packers versus the Lions. This is Thursday gotcha game. Who do you have, Spitface? Hello?
This is where I wish the Lions did not have all those injuries. Because, one, being a Bear fan, I like to see the Packers lose. But I'm going to go with the Lions. They're at home. They may be injured, but that home field advantage is going to help them. Okay, First Lady? Oh, okay. It looks like First Lady is having a technical issue. And during the meantime, while she's having that technical issue, let's see if we can move forward. And it looks like so we got and as soon as First Lady returns, we'll get her picks. But the winner loses the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals been kind of hot. The Seahawks been kind of hot. Something's got to come down. Geno versus Kyler, and I'm going to go with the road dog. I'm going to ride with them Seahawks and Geno's Pizza. Now, also it looks like we got the Bills versus the Rams. The temptation would be that this is a trap game. I'm going for their Bills. That's right. I'm going for the Bills on the road. And then we got the Bears versus the 49ers. Now, looking at them Bears 49ers, I'm going to go with their Bears. Now, First Lady, we glad the technology is repaired. My Thursday gotcha game, I went with the Lions.
Okay.
And for the winners or losers, I went with the Seahawks over the Cardinals, the Bills over the Rams, and the Bears over the 49ers.
Okay, technical, I've definitely got lightning in this area. I don't know what's going on. My phone just went out, but that's all right. We got technology is not what it used to be. So anyway, for my got you game, I have, hold on for a sec. Let me get my results. I'm sorry. For my got you game, I have the Lions over the Packers. I have the Cardinals over the Seahawks and the Bills over the Rams. And I have the 49ers for the Bears, over the Bears. That's where you ended?
That's where I ended.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Sunday Night Madness. These are worth 100 million points. Chargers versus the Chiefs. All right. I have the Chiefs. Who do you have, Spitface?
I'm rolling the dice on Jim Harbaugh and them Chargers.
Okay. You got going with Harbaugh and the Chargers. Thinking the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs usually have a hard time with them. Yeah, that is a good pick, but I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Never. So I'm going to stick with the Chargers. We'll get DizzieMac picks later. All right, Monday Night Bash. Bengals versus the Cowboys. You know what? I'm going to go with the Bengals. Who do you have, Spitface?
I'm rolling with them Tigers there. I'm going with the Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I do think people, the Cowboys, the Cowboys can still win games. So I'm going. This is going to be a tougher game or a tighter game. Bengals ain't going to blow them out, but the Bengals can score. And even though the Cowboys' defense has perked up, I think the Bengals going to outscore.
Okay. All right. So this week, our producers, we didn't do any overs and unders, right? Is that
no
correct?
overs this week.
No overs and unders.
We just had big games.
Yeah, we had some big games. All right. Well, I'm quite sure the production staff is happy about them overs and unders. All right. Not being on the script. Okay. All right. So we'll see how we do it. We're going to work on a production staff to have all these results. All right. Our top story to watch, Spitface. What is your top story to watch this week?
My top story to watch this week is going to be the Bears coaching search. Who are they really looking at?
Okay. So my top story to watch this week are the college football, right? That's my top story to watch because don't the playoffs begin? And
is it this?
Yeah.
Well, I think they have this weekend isn't it the champion isn't it like the SEC champ?
Yeah, they have all the championship games are going on this week.
Yeah.
To determine
because that'll settle. Yeah.
Yeah, determine who's going to get in, who's going to get into these final spots. Because people in Miami, man, they are really upset and peeved that they put Alabama ahead of Miami Hurricanes, and Alabama has 3 losses, and the Hurricanes have 2 losses. So they're a little bit upset about that here in Miami. But you know what? They got to understand it's the division so sad.
Oh, first.
All right. What did you say, Spitface?
Go for it, First Lady.
Okay, check out our current and previous episodes at Bras, Panties and Sports.com and our Facebook page, BP and Sports. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. See you next week.